old school flow to these old school beats, bro. Don't forget that most of the lyrics that you hear from the lads in the hood that made it on the radio finally, wow, yeah, it came from somewhere else first, wow. And remember back in the day, hey, music is for the language of the slaves and the social elite. We're all in the middle, yeah, the middle, yeah. Not eat 'em though, no, here's a bit of flow. Haven't really heard this beat before, bro, but just go with it, you know. So the plan would be the hustle and flow principle in me to be in you to the principle, the design, elementary, the tertiary, yeah, shout out Tony Watson, bro, elementary, as I said to you that day at that palais. New rules, just dance, but hey, I called out security because they were being rude, mate. You know, you shouldn't be just hanging on the edge waiting to put someone down, you know. The idea of wearing a bike helmet, bro, is to keep yourself safe, but mostly others safe from you. Much like if you wear headlights, no, but if you have headlights, the answer on the test in the driving exam is, why do you have headlights, man? It's so other people can see you. And I said to myself, you know, why don't we all have blue headlights so the animals don't get shook? No bright lights, too bright for me too. Just saying, me too, we've all been abusers, no excuse, and it's time to finally take a stand, man. Stand up with what's happening in the world. We need to get the world back to us, you know, not throw it in the bin, just saying. So literally, I'm trying to think of all the lines off the top of my mind. I've got so many written down, wow, but my crown's still mushy. When my mum kicked me in the head 6 times, that's okay, but hey, take a trip with me, it happened again at 30, that's how strong the cycle of abuse is. And you can hear when I'm trying to think about what I want to say, because it's all for you. Didn't occur to me that meant me too, specifically, you know, in the K ward, bro, yeah, the psych ward. They literally ask, are the messages coming through for you? I said no, not me specifically, it's all a part of Fibonacci, you know, serendipity, serenity, because the ship's alive, mate. Didn't occur to me that the message might actually be specifically to me at the time. Watching Water Rats, yeah, zoom in on the back of the truck and it said Wyndham, which off the record, of course, my ex happened to rob a company that was under Wyndham, but not to mention 178 cases at the time when COVID first came through, because it represents the house, mate. Think about it now. We're all being rorted by the banks and the real estates and the supergirl, no, but superannuation, can't even get the words out, mate. Trying to overthink it, no, hey, it's because it's important to spit a bit of freestyle flow for free. Take a trip with me, yeah, I stuttered. But hey, did we all stutter when Jim Jeffries pointed out the same guy that's from Hustle and Flow? Wow, hey, look at that movie now. Shout out Marinda, rest in peace though, hard dog, your blue eyes, just like Leonardo's bride that I didn't become. You know, living the lyrics literally. I couldn't feel my face when I was with you, and you know the lyric where you get hit in the head with a soup ladle. Yeah, my mum did that one too. Just saying. Average. Maybe lads need to wear a dress to address their issues there, even if it's just once a year, yeah. Not to mention Cat was wearing a red dress at Brett's, you know, party there. You know, reliving the stories. No one wants to be the chick in the red dress in the Matrix though, but hey, even Neo turned his head, which reminds me there that day in Flynn, Emma said I was the one, because my brain's truly fluid. Why do I do that? Why do I skip on the reiteration nation in my mind? Because it takes a while for my mouth and my tongue to catch up with what I want to say in the brain. Hey, that's okay, everything's an extension of each other's brain if you think about it, mate. Being told something and then we're sold out. That's how they get us to do it to each other now. But hey, we're all brothers, you don't have to have a dick to have flow. But I meant what I said that day, bro. Slip it, nowhere chillin' it. Maybe you should wear the lingerie and chop up for me for a change. Just saying, cause it's a bit weird if it's a 420 fam sister text you in your undies, yeah. Especially if they're or her undies. I'm just saying what, maybe we should all go standing in a circle, because I put myself in that pocket, no. Drop your pocket, row your boat gently down the stream. But life could surely be but a dream with a double T. No one wants to be the arse of the situation. Yeah, Jersey Shore style. No one wants to be the guy that's stuck in muzzer mode. But hey, take a trip with me, as I said again. That seems to be a filler line in my flow this time. You get that, yo. The guy at the booth that was all muzzed out 3 drifts later looked over, I'm so proud, pointed at me and did a mad little happy dance, and no, he was free. That's what we all need, that's all well, you know, more equal than others though. Just saying, as I said in my previous flow, that I just spat, is this a stitch up, man, when they put equal on your bed, instead when they only carry sweet and low in the building. Really would like to be already doing a Patch Adams literally in the K-ward. How come Maccas have cancer houses? Not that it's bad, but how come there isn't one for misfortune yet? I'm working on it, yeah. I really would have liked to have done that by now, but how now, brown cow? The moon's back, and the sun too. They're my true parents and the earth, and it is the same for you. Think about it, mate. Davies, the animals are the same as us, and we need to look after them better. How bizarre. They're older than us, and they're closer to golden ratio and Fibonacci. That means they have more legal rights to be looked after by those who actually thought of the law. Why else would the universe invent a law? It's called a fucking thumb, for fuck's sake. Much like Inspired Kids, parents could be that cool, and this has been going on for some time. It's not cool how long it's taken. Look at the damage to the planet, mate. Telling me unconsciously even that's not a bit of a scam, a plan, man. Just saying, otherwise why did divorce come out and then gay marriage? Not to mention you could still hit your wife with the stick at 71. Wow, talk about mad with power. Fred D, though, he should have died a married man. We've all had our legal rights taken, man, but we can catch up on lost time. We just need to make a hustle and a flow of it, bro. Just saying. Gonna kick it with the beat for a moment. Freeze it and hold it. So the next memory that springs to my mind, and I've got to trust that, cause hey, once again I'll say, I have no idea what I'm about to say, and I'm literally brain dead. Hey, I got visual at 30 there, like the spell lift, mate. Just saying, at the time that Anto put his whole foot, whole leg through the wall, literally like Billy does in a film clip, off the wall, it's all yellow, mate. Think about it, hey, repeating all the lines wasn't just to be cool. Not cool, that's okay, had white shirt, red nose, no bloody nose, literally white shirt on the flow, Betty Boop though, at the time bruised knees, literally losing the song lyrics, and Peter should have known better, ripped me off over 30 grand, had to get an accountant to replace all the work that I was doing for free, playing on it, said he didn't like egos, and then one day I woke up and realised his company is an acronym that spells egos, is and outside spaces. Not to mention I've seen outside space, it took a while. Zoom out, keep going now. Yeah, so in Flynn that day when they said I was the one, I happened to literally find a bent spoon under a table, and the lyric Jabberwocky came out, and they said I was. Maybe I'm true Alice after all. To mention, you know, fools from the Bible, yo, when Mr. T put it together, and it's pleased to be our foolish acts all together now with the Heather. I thought it was 35 tracks at the time, now we're up to 141 some. Yeah, quick math, Ocean Eyes went big because it's actually about the ocean's eyes. Yeah, the day I was trying to explain this to a mate, and it went into a Gaia episode, and it happened to be the one that explained aliens supposedly channeling through our dreams. You know, speaking words of wisdom, bro, if you don't believe me, look back as John Lennon tried to say it, We've all been trying to say it through each other's songs all along. It's time to wake up and fix the planet, mate. You know, the plan ET is spelt the same as planetary science, art to science, mixed up of there living on prayer. Magic fountain, all together, yeah, all together at Lemonade, That's why I made Hilltop the exit sign. Didn't occur to me that I might literally be channeling Harley. Evolve, cause as Eminem said, evil is just love backwards, but now it's one love, bruv. We don't need this evil shit, you know, we've all got the ocean's eyes. Literally in our blood, the crabs, man, straight out of Alien, we need to look after them better. Just saying, not to mention my mum left me in front of Alien at 2468. Who do we appreciate? And Billy was literally conceived in a test tube, and now they're going to clone, the Tasmanian devil and the Tasmanian tiger's womb, bro. And the next joke is when the devil said maybe it's a twin in my stomach, they're two twins. And what if one girl got the other girl's ovaries? That means one egg made two egg makers, mate. It's a really bad dad joke, but hey, not hermaphrodite at all. Just saying, but not at the same time a genetic anomaly. You know, because that's a bit of an issue, bro. Look at the history. If we became too inbred, that's why we're lucky. The Wright brothers, made Flight Da Vinci, couldn't do it, but Leonardo's right indeed. Next door to me, and all the different things that people channeling, I'm drawn together, bro. And Betty Boop's neck did not break. But once you push something beyond funny, it's not funny anymore. It's a patience thing, though. As I wrote before I made the exit sign, my original sign was in Flynn, and it was patience. Please practice patience at your highest and your lowest point. The doctors, nurses and staff do. Hey, if the doctor can set his soul free by telling you a secret, now I'm going to spread the word to you. Yeah, he mentioned he's got schizophrenia and doesn't need meds. What does that tell you straight away? Much like racing, what is that? Racing Kathy Freeman. Concentrate, use your mouth properly, dickhead, that's what it's for. It's called a tongue, and I can touch my nose, so that's not the point. Hey, the whole system must be a scam. It's fight, flight, or fight, or delight. Fear is no longer keeping us alive. Look around at the planet, y'all. Time to open our eyes. Like the day my mother said I opened her eyes when I mentioned, not to mention, she mentioned to me first that, eyes wide shut. She said, Bidishka, that's not acting. She knew they were going to get divorced before they did, perhaps, not to mention the day she said to me, as I said to her, hey, silence isn't golden, it's actually a stern reply. It makes no sense if camp quality and laughter cures cancer. How kids getting it there? We manifested it, but we can undo it now. I'm pretty sure, wow. I explained, hey, if silence was golden, then why a classroom so noisy with laughter and trans so silent? And that was literally before social media, y'all. Old saying goes, let them eat cake, bro. And hey, maybe that was more perceptive than people wanted to accept. If you have two cakes there and you share yours with someone else and you have a quarter each, that means you have your cake, you get to eat it too. Everyone loves some pudding. Shout out. When you send your dad a message and then he blocks you, but the day we met he said we should do our own TV show on HBO, and then he said, oh, we can't, bro, because he was drunk and stoned. It's alright for the corporates to party hard. What about the people on the street? Wouldn't listen to me when I said, hey, you reckon you don't check your bank account, mate? Help me make my own real estate, do up old houses, and we can set up, a place for people to be safe. And he said there's no money in that. How ridiculous is that? I'm just saying, the guy that didn't make it, but his music is mad. Mr. Steve, Michael, Steve and Rick, much like my boss's daughter pieces it together. Rick was missing his eyes because Steve and Michael make the Mr. And then the Rick who was missing his eyes that my mum used to put the extra I in my name. Not to mention made me hate the sound of my own name, but you get that, hey, first world problems. This is more about the dead so they don't have to turn purple in their grave. Looking down at the stars as the stars look down at us with, hey, if all the stars are kosher, what does that mean to you? Scientists have proven we're all stars, that means we're all being watched. Not to mention Billy's eyes are the same as Big Brother's eyes, and we could do that literally in the hood. Help people heal. I've been trying for a while. Shout out, Noah's Ark and the Talking Horse, of course, because we all know Truman went a little bit weird, but hey, Ed TV, he was a bit arrogant, mate. We don't want that, for fuck's sake. Just saying, back to the story, when she said I opened her eyes, but then she still decided to be more like a sister, and that's her choice, but hey, it's frustrating, mate. None of us want to be a wasted talent anymore. I'm more concerned about the people in jail. Y'all know they deserve a toilet seat, not to mention not to be treated like meat. It's actually illegal, especially solitary confinement. Hey, the 4 monkeys, the one that in the blah blah blah. I ain't sticking around for the blah blah blah, but yeah, the black box, I usually don't come good. The joke being the exception to the rule is if the monkey is me and I was in the womb still tripping hard, but all Kama Sutra'd up in there because my mum was a concealed pregnancy. I mean, I was, yes, she was flat. Imagine saying to your mum, I'm giving birth and having a baby, and she said, what, now? You know, imagine being 17, only having 2 months to prepare. I can sympathise, well empathise, no sympathy, mate. That's where they get you, A. Back to the people in jail, for fuck's sake. No, because Tupac was right, bro. The hood is not designed, though. In that aspect, he was wrong. It's not designed to get out and not look back and realise, hey, now you've got the power to do something about it, mate. Just saying, I may not have listened to all these tracks, but that interview I'm shattered, I deleted a remix that I made for you. I can do another one, sampling the interview in jail, you know. Not to mention, at least I got to read. Shout out Chopper Reed, cut his ears off. I got someone else to do it, just like, you know, Van Gogh back in the day. No wonder artists lock themselves away. People want to judge the artistic flow and the process along the way, but hey, I got a high distinction for using tools accurately. I was so proud to finally get a distinction now, because I usually get a credit because my mum blocked my mind, you know, at the time, traumatised. But you get that, maybe it was just enough to know it's so much worse for so many brothers in arms, bro. And all life matters, all matter matters. Actually, it's spelt the same. And if all atoms are equal, well, aware of themselves and each other, what does that spell? Spells a time that people in jail need to not be exploited, left to power play each other. They don't need to shiv each other, brother. They just need to have something decent to do, you know? Not just pick up rubbish, but hey, at least they do that. At least they know about colour blocking, yeah. You're telling me they don't know about colour psychology? When my ex rings me and says, hey, you had to paint the prison walls thin ice green, mate. Not to mention the day I went to visit him and I noticed the little yellow fibres on his jumper, but how is that fair? What, you want to reward criminals even though it's not about that they get to play tennis, for fuck's sake? But what about the people who choose not to do crime, who sleep on the street, don't have a safe place to be, let alone that was Victoria's number plate for a while? All the stuff they throw away, we could put it on a property, make mazes that are amazing and make paintball arenas for character, y'all. So you could have caps versus coppies, cabbies versus coppers, cabbies. Wow, scenario, wow. Didn't know that Tupac made that word up first, cause he's a legend, cause it's a situation of the scenario. Still spat it in one of my first flows. Must be connected at heart, you know, cause we care from the start. One love there, back to the mazes, it makes sense, help people all build character. We don't need to actually shoot each other or go to war anymore. If it's the skill you're into, you're to backtrack on a memory. The day I went to play paintball at South Moraine. Yeah, I was faithful, they just took that bong home, but I ran back the hill to pick up the glove at the end. Not to mention played with Casper there, yeah. It was a mad day, because there was a 12-member Bucks party and we got to have a decent amount of competition. But 12 minutes into a 15-minute task, no one, much like on Big Brother, had time to ask, too busy playing against each other. So I asked the people running the place, where's the doll? Because that was the aim of the goal, to capture the doll, not just the flag yet. They pointed out, so I ran down WoW and used the gun to hook the shirt so I could reach it. Stood behind the door, no, a tree, y'all, as I heard that many bullets hit the wall. Then I ran off, achieved the goal, but hey, it was a mad day, just saying. principle behind things can't stay the same forever, has to be updated. Much like back in the day, a true democracy that checked in on everything every 9 days. Turns out it seems to be that COVID made them actually follow the rules a little bit more. But you know, the principle's out the window, bro. If we throw away more resource than we give away all that people need, you can't say pirate code's not in play, which was literally split the COVID, no, but split the bounty equally, and they knew. Don't fight on the boat, don't put negativity around the place that you sleep, I suppose. No gambling, and Miss Guzzy, but it's healthy to burp, just saying. Let alone fart how bizarre like the Queen does in the BFG. But yeah, back to the hood, yeah, so many different ideas, and it may seem I'm off track, but no, now I blocked 3 different lines in my mind because I want to finish the point, but that's not the point, it's about being poignant, yeah. You can't say that they can't see where they've been breaking their own rules, it's not cool. You just get that though, let's fix it, cause blame is for chumps, and it's not a blame game, fame, shame. Or is it, mate? I'm just saying, how much money is there in the world, but there's still that little matchstick girl sleeping outside, you know, legal rights being broken because we're all literally entitled to be maintained to our highest level of potential. Look it up. As I did that day, because I was trying to take Kathy's daughter from her. Hey, for fuck's sake, lucky I did, because now I've got it documented, but I need to tell this story more. People don't seem to realise we're all living the song lyrics off the top of our minds. Just saying. Back to some other points from the start of this flow. Yeah, the day in Flynn that Maz Sapphire was literally carrying the weight of the world and wandering around in circles, y'all. Yeah, no one did everything or anything over an hour, so I walked up to her and said, you don't have to carry the weight of the world anymore, you're not alone. I just trust my heart, and that's where I get my flow from. She said to me, and what's your name? I said Ishka, and she said, what letter's missing? And I said M. You know, like Michael, but Mishka, like the vodka, yeah. And it was the right answer, because M&M is the symbol for mountain for divinity, which is actually the compass. By chance, Kathy happened to give me a perfect replica of Jack's compass, bro. Yo, want a sickle seed? Fuck yeah. No wonder I choose to stay single in this world. I'm not going to sleep with someone that's got the mind of, you know, a demonstrative Wednesday, or a little girl, a child in an adult body. It's kind of sick, mate, just like no one had to tell me as a kid, don't touch yourself till you're 13. Say if you've got the mind of an adult or a child, you're still in a child's body, eh? Not to mention, literally on the wall at the cop shop it says all forms of abuse or rape are the same, but they haven't done much to implement that yet. Their hands supposedly tied, but hey, the day I went in, because the code of conduct was in play. Forgive my mediocrity, but you get that, I'll keep going, eh? This was it, I just woke up and my mouth's dry, but you get that. You get that.
There's still argument about whether it is poetry or not.
Yeah, I said to them, I mentioned to the cops, yeah, because the code of conduct was in play 3 different ways that day. Literally, the cops saying they were going to not revenue raise anymore, wanted to help the children cross the road, much like Bieber that day. I remember seeing that video. Lovely lad, bro, got out of his car and helped the little old lady cross the road, literally. Not to mention the day the magpies did the same thing to get to the other side just to be with their mates. But yeah, 12 hours later still going, wow. So on the way to the cop shop I found the elder law pamphlet and I wrote notes all over it, and it stipulated how we're having our legal rights broken. The cop's response was to surround me and put me in Flynn for that. How ridiculous is that? Not to mention Mel Bassier put her hand up next to her face and said that I've got the power, that I've got the power. Does that sound like someone who's mentally fit and mature enough to have that complicated confirmation, no, that, you know, what's the word that won't spring my mind because I can't force it, yo. That qualification, there you go. No, it doesn't, bro. Just because you got the piece of paper to do the study doesn't mean you're qualified to do the job. I'm just saying they need to work on that shit. It's just motherfucking wrong. People out there in the world far more qualified to do the jobs they're being exploited for instead. Just saying, it's not right. Maturity needs to be looked at. Emotional stamina, yeah. Anyway, that day the cops were also saying I'm in docs. I heard on the radio they couldn't justify their clerical errors, yeah, from handwriting shit. Why don't Telstra give them the old stock so they can write it down, print it off and sign it, wow. Not to mention the day the cop said to me when Kathy, a different Kathy, Irish Kathy, literally tried to bite my nose off, but another Irish person bit my nose and that's when it swelled up, finger, and somehow that's how I had white shirt, red bloody nose, so I guess the flow all fits together in this story, bro. Anyway, back to the cop shop that day, you know, showing me signs. A sergeant through the two-way mirror doing the, like eating a rat, but not eating, chewing on your finger, I think not, but thumb in your bum. Georgie Porgy made the girls cry. Just saying it worked out, but that wasn't their plan. That was universal, man, not their intention. But how you get that on big jobs, mate, I'm not complaining, I'm just reiterating the story. You know, trying to stay historically accurate. It's not about being perfect, but sometimes that sucks. You know you can spit a better flow, but hey, I haven't listened to the beat before, that might have helped, but hey, you get that, bro. Just saying, stop stressing and stop holding myself back, I'm working on it, man. Just saying. Not to mention after I mentioned to Anto, because I already was in the know, but I waited for Freezer Pattern to beat and play Nostradamus rule, mate. Hey, you can have synchronicities all day and all night if you pay attention. Nostradamus would be turning in his grave, though he didn't say it for us to pander to it, he said it so we could fix it, obviously, mate, obviously. Look around though, we might want to do that, better late than never, but hey, poor coral reef was all bleached just the other day, fucked up, that's fish's home, fisher friends are not food, not to mention, look at our mentality, look at what we do, we watch Nemo and then follow through with the wrong bit. How many clownfish got stolen from the ocean after humans watched that video? It's fucking stupid, bro. Just saying, it was about fixing it, not perpetuating it, for fuck's sake. Anyway, the third synchronicity that day was after I told Anto. I literally walked back into my bedroom and I always had the radio on just to hear the signs and keep myself, sane, bro. And Kate Ritchie stated the code of conduct had been broken in the sporting world, so I knew it was in play 3 ways. Knew it was the right day to go to the cop shop and let them know they're entitled to a 12% pay rise. Because that's an equal flow. That's the public servant code that we're all actually bound to and entitled to benefit from the law. No gall. Hey, we're working on it, mate. We're working on it. We all have a right to be educated, Educate, evaluate the words and the weight behind the words, the hooks, the lyrics, they mean something, bro, because the language of the slaves and the social elite came from people that don't have a bad mentality. As I said at the start, is flow. Why do I keep stuttering, bro? Because there's so many things I know that need to be said, yo. Put the pressure on my back much, you get that, but hey, shouldn't have to try so hard. When you just speak in rhyme all the time, but you block it now, it's time to shine. Because I want to say something more suspenseful and penseful than just a line, a rhyme that aligns with my life. But I'm trying to get the message out so people can wake up, not freak out and not manifest reality in a demonstrative way, if you know what I mean. There's a demon in all of us, bro. It's called fear, yo. The purpose of fear is to have courage, not to pander to it. Don't choose the devil, you do know all the time devil's advocacy doesn't work. As I said to them in court that day, I had Patsy curse. Not to mention they spoke in code the whole time. Not to mention the mental health tribunal agreed with me when I said it's all a part of Fibonacci. And Fiona got her nose out of joint like Owen Wilson on steroids. It's not cool, laughed in my face the other day, using me as a sacrifice. Yeah, they know what they're doing there, it's fucking disgusting. But hey, they thought I didn't know, but I know I remember every detail. It's just a matter of when I remember it there. You get that, mate? Not to mention locking me up for writing notes on an elder law pamphlet the exact same way Marshall does. That's just retarded, bro. Well, you have the mentality of someone that didn't listen in school and tuned out your parents. That's naughty. Just because you're not on the nice list doesn't mean you're naughty or nice. Just because you're not on the naughty list doesn't mean you're automatically on the nice list. Hey, I must be Santa, mate. Used to have to write to Ishka from Santa on my own Christmas cards. Wow, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not complaining, but I did grow up in this generation, not back in the day. Stuck at the back of the bell curve and at the front, because hey, my great-grandma was a Lockett and a Jones, not to mention spit these flows, and poor Joan did send her daughter to school as a gollywog book week. It's not cool. We've all been trying to push for equality for a while. Equal pay, not a pause and revolution, mate. Not using it in the later date, so it's still the wrong thing, mate. Shout out Mr. Morrison, though it's actually more of an admission of guilt. Hey, I'm sorry, bro, but it is. Finally, change the tenancy laws, though it was an excellent email, mate. Just saying, now you can paint your own walls here, do what you need to do with your house. The real estate's been mind fucking everyone for too long. What do they do? Sit around and gas bag all day, like the day they gave me a lease but didn't say, hey, your landlord hasn't signed it yet. Is that actually a way of giving me evidence to use against them? Because they want help unconsciously. Their higher selves want to do the right thing. Their conscious minds are the childish ones, eh? Think about it. Why do they get paid so much, even if they get $20 off every rent arrears there? Yeah, if they get a cut out of every rent arrears, no rental arrears, let alone the rent we pay every motherfucking week, eh? You know, got the system set up with the banks that are meant to protect us, but instead landlords' money gets tied up with them. Is that not a scam to get us to all turn against each other, man, so they can justify doing the wrong thing themselves? It's a bad strategy, mate. Just like when I said to D-Welp that day, hey, it's not made for making friends, eh? But you know, it's a trigger-happy strategy to burn off. The land's already burnt, don't do it after the fact and act like you're the good guy, yo. They said, oh, too bad, we can't do that, there's been too much rain. And I said, well, lucky there's been someone praying for rain, mate. Because they're our totems, mate. The innocence of the land and the ocean keeps us safe. Back in the day, ignorance wasn't bliss, but at least we had that knowledge. You know that the world was safe, if you know what I mean. Safety is our legal right. No shit show, no dog fight, it's a cooperation, bro. You know, like the game show, no, but yeah, all the titles of the shows. Have you been paying attention? Not to mention, are you smarter than a 5th grader? Yeah, no one wants to be the weakest link, but lock it in Eddie, the slumdog millionaire theme. That's all of us, bro, and they tried to say he was cheating, bro. Every moment of our lives actually add up, and love is the prize. MIA, paper planes, not missing in action at all. 2 different ways to respond. The guy that day, literally on McLeod Street at the front of the clinic, when I said to him, hey, your daughter's beautiful, what's her name? He said Mia, and I said, like, MIA, paper planes, slumdog millionaire theme, and he said yes. But I digress, back to Bree. When I said, oh, you called your daughter Zoe Zerbo there because of ZZ Top, and she cracked it like a child because I figured it out straight away. Didn't occur to her maybe that it's everyone, mate. Not to mention the names that we have, like Safe Haven just finished at the top of her class, Trista just had Temple, yeah? But hey, what does that actually literally mean? Think about it. If Tupac did get shot because he was packing 2 like a frequency, if I've been a sacrifice, that means we've all been sacrificed at some stage, eh? Pass the buck, I don't think so. It was never actually in the rule book that you had to be a shit cunt, bro. You know, people that think it's okay to use you as their sacrifice so they can empower themselves. That's not empowerment, mate, it's just short for sportsmanship. I'm just saying, catch the ball, look up to live. Number 6 in the gun formation literally said 6, not sex, yeah, sex, not 6, no, 6, not sex, bro. Something popped into my head that New Zealand was going to cop our bad behaviour there. And then I brushed over those notes, the Bible pages I was given by Chancellor Flynn that explain how long will the land lay parch, there'll be disasters, yeah, eruptions, fires and floods. In the year of judgment, mate.
2020 vision? Eh.
Yep, I frustrate myself to no end. I'm not sure why people try and do it to me, I do it to myself. I think we can all relate to that, but hey, you get that, mate. First world problems, you know. You know, keep it regulated, regurgitated, bro, acting like sour milk along the floor. It's not your fault, we need to appreciate the fact we even have the invention called a refrigerator. You know, Skeletors, you know, look at that, bro. Back in the day, if you were fat, it meant you were rich, and now it means the opposite. If you're skinny, that was considered attractive. What is that? A direct, obvious correlation to abundance, yo. I'm just saying. Because it's all about the nest and a reflection of the habitat, yeah. The more we fix the bush, the less abuse there will be. Wrong sort of burning bush that comes to me, because we're all shades of orange anyway. What are we, food? We all bleed and it's blue. If you oxygenate it, then we see it as red, but technically it was always blue. Bloods and Crips on the same side as that note told me to find. You know, are your thoughts even your own? Beware of the Zohan, bro. There's no need to perpetuate those old bad habits, eh? And that's what was in my mind when I just woke up at 3:34 in the morning, yawn, decided to spit this flow on a bad track, bro. Cause that's what I said to TR that day. You might want to play bad habits, bad child, did a bad thing, bad guy. I should have said bad romance as well, and bad to the bone to wake people up. And now I do the Linky McLink game. Shout out Fizzy and Whipper. At least you got the message, mate. Not to mention Garby and Dan took you on a journey indeed, and then you hang up on me. What is with that? No need to be so undermining. There's a fine line between cynical and just rude. But hey, we've all got to find that line. Not to mention Chris's mum, Paula, gave me my letter that day saying I was one with the edge. Allegedly, my aura is white with 5 black holes. What does that even mean? Hey, maybe I should tell that bit of the story, mate. Yeah, back to that tree that cracked when I got home. I ended up literally smashing my mum's window with a craw. You know, liar, yo, but the son of a bitch did it. And when she says so, she doesn't care. That is a good father, bro. She should be stripped of the money immediately. We could use these shows as evidence in court, bro. That's their job, the lawmakers and the power play land. No, but lawmakers and the police, they're meant to read between the lines of what happens to us and fix it. Allegedly not in the know, but you only have to read it once. A safe place to live. A safe place to live, bro. That's in every aspect of the word safe, for fuck's sake. Anyway, having to say to the cop 10 years ago after an hour getting frustrated with his power play. You know, you're being a pig, abusing your power, bro. Look at your eyes, you're just doing this shit cunts. That's not the case. He said, you know what, you're right. I said to him at the time, I respect the Hells Angels and the cops the same way. And he said, yeah, why is that? And I said, because society needs bookends. Everybody needs to hear the word no sometimes, you know. It's just how it is. The reason for this is so we don't go mad with power. That's what a masonry roasting is. But anyway, the main reason I needed to get away that day was because I happened to do a little fairy garden in the guy's garden down the laneway, literally in Melbourne, but it's repeated in Bairnsdale. I've been through this a few times. The whole story repeats so accurately, it's actually ridiculous, mate. But anyway, said to him, look, I need to go. The poor guy down the laneway, yeah, his best mate happened to hang himself the day before, but I found a little noose in his garden and hung it in the tree of life. Fast forward to Steve Freeman's the same time, but in a different day in history. I found a little burn bar wrapper in his garden. How bizarre. I recreated the burning bush, mate, as a joke. And the day he said to me, when I said to him, did you say something to me? And he said, no, but I was thinking it. And is that you putting all the signs outside? When Bree and John tried to hide the fact I was living there at all. How patronising's that? Stick to the truth, mate, you'll feel better about it, eh? You know, would have given my eye tooth at the time to have a deal like that and actually finish high school. $200 a week for power, internet and bills. That's a fucking steal. Ended up leaving owing Pete, no, Steve Freeman, $4,000, but shit happens, yo. Just saying, back to another moment in time when I lived there, when the cops next door unconsciously left their windows open, open, shut, open, open, shut, open, shut, open, shut. That's binary. Not to mention Big Smokey Joe's lyric when he says, you know, code of the street, go deeper than binary. Wake up one day, you'll see the irony and smell it too to add a new line. Why is it this power play competition? Who could be the most witty? Who wants to interweave the interwoven hook of all the lines? But that's not a copyright issue. It was actually a way to find love, peace and unity if you think about it. But hey, if you take a photo of something, mate, I learned in my art diploma, then you reuse it as long as you don't say that it was your invention. You're allowed to say and use that. Not to mention that means we've all been ripped off for a long time. Copyright laws are bogus, mate. Just saying. Back to the other point, the poor man, in between the time where I missed the eclipse party because of that claw incident and me being locked out in the bush, that guy's neighbour came and said to me, what's with all this fairy garden shit? It's on camera. He thought his friend had been knocked by keys. That's why I had to explain to him what was going on. He was the guy that helped me that day though, the first time I flipped out at my mum, mate. And he said, I feel sorry for you. We used to hear what she did to you, you know, and he drove me to a safe place. You can't always get in the car with a stranger, but also not have stranger danger. We're not kids, you should know. Be able to have a decent conversation with the perfect stranger, bro. Yeah, dropped me off at Ted's there and Ted knew. Sorry about taking your 4 ligaments, mate, but hey, recently you had a heart attack, rat-a-tat-tat on your wall for a reason, bro. Trying to sacrifice others in your place, bro. Just saying, message me and say what's funny about your heart attack, mate. Now I've blocked you, and he says I'll be seeing you. You know, sure to go mad with power, bro. No respect for yourself, the fact that I found you that day, you drunk and taken that many drugs, trying to kill yourself, mate, and now your daughter still have a dad, sure to slap me in the face instead, wow. But hey, I remember a story now of your friend when he said that he wanted to call his daughter Snow White, because their last name was White, like Jason White, Cheryl White, and it was White Island that erupted. Back to that point, I somehow knew New Zealand was gonna cop our bad behaviour because we're all plugged in like phone chargers, man. Where do you think they got the concept from, you know, like grounded, man? You can't lie, the truth itself is kind of fucking stupid. You can't lie, the truth itself is kind of fucking dumb. You can't lie, the truth itself is just not the truth. But hey, flaming glass, mate, literally, because it crippled me during that time where the bushfires happened and we didn't have to see it as a sign, but we did at the same time. Sine wave, mate. That's why you carry a screwdriver down a mine back in the day, and no one wants to do that job anymore. It's not necessary, y'all. I'm just saying it's fucking illegal anyway. Mr. Morrison, what is with that on the radio today, saying you want to make a nickel mine to pay for all these warships and shit? That's illegal. Planning for war is illegal, y'all. Planning, let alone going through with it, is illegal, y'all. It is illegal. How many times do I have to spell it out? Wow. Just saying, overheating now, sensitive to the candle in my room. Even though that seems off topic, it's not, because, you know, that day 42 popped up on my phone, broken screen. Yeah, 3 sentences in explaining how our worth came from burning the candle at both ends. a really old gauntlet there, much like they know smoking gets you back to the roots. Though, as I said to mental health that day, to reiterate, go back to the points I've started to stipulate on in this freestyle for you, the world. Yeah, just saying, mate. If the pharmaceutical companies gave a fuck, they wouldn't be delivering poison to us, yeah, and they'd follow the medical handbook and know it's not meant to be a last resort, which is one of the places on this island I've designed. The last resort for those that just won't learn, and the last resort for us to party up, full moon party style, bro, I'm just saying. Not to mention the white parties in Melbourne, bro. But yeah, 3 sentences in, I knew where 42 was going with that. 3 sentences in. No wonder people think I'm rude when I interject or re-stipulate what they're saying, because I'm already on to the point and trying to help them y'all save time. But anyway, that's not the point. Three paragraphs in later, he was saying what I'd already picked up on from 3 sentences in, mate. We can't burn the candle at both ends and get our worth from destructing the planet, the hunt anymore. It doesn't keep us alive. Time to survive, do the 5, slip, slop, slap and slide on our shades again. Why'd they get rid of the shades and the slide on the radio? Turning back time but not in a positive way, bro. Do you know how motherfucking hot it is in Australia, bro? Close to the hole in the ozone layer. I'm not a vampire, I'm just a redhead. Literally can't even walk down the street and walk home without getting sunburnt, risking my skin for skin cancer, bro. Not to mention I can drive a manual, no one had to teach me, but I'm glad that I walk, even though bullshit walk the money talks, because I pick up stuff literally out of the gutter and follow the signs that day. Or sometimes, mate, when you hear a song in your head and you walk into Coles and it's already playing on the radio, anyone else notice that shit, bro? Anyway, the day that I was under the hills hoist, made a tent to survive. The kids on the street, hey, you can do something about it, take a trip with me, make yourself a comfy little abode. Wait for them to do something about it, no, do it yourself, bro. But I had a candle there to take the moisture off the air. That's the bit that makes you sick, you're not meant to breathe in moisture, bro. And Casper said to me when I was spitting some flows and sampling things out of shows, triggering his mind, he gave me a bud and said, do something about it there. And now Britney is free, that's gotta be a good sign. But the awakening is actually so we can go back and fix the planet, bro. I figured that out, yo. The only way to do that is to fix our mentality between each other. Otherwise we're not gonna have the right mentality to see the earth itself as a brother. Just saying. Cause I'm blue, if I was green I would die at the time. Hear the songs from the perspective of a deity, not just the perspective of the individual, typically me singing it, no. Zoom out in your mind and listen to the lyrics as if they're coming from the point of view from the sun and moon and the earth at the same time. That's already what you do. Not to mention, for an example there, Johnny Depp and his missus came to Australia and he cut his finger off Bloody Mary on the wall, tuning into a freaking sea, the method to the madness. And if you listen to the argument, it sounds an awful lot like Mother Earth arguing with her son, the mankind, of course. Mankind channels what we do to Mother Earth. Think about it, y'all. Sound an awful lot like them arguing about Mother Earth, thinking we're gonna leave her up the creek, y'all. Go to space. I don't think so, mate. I don't think so, not without fixing this place first. All technology came from her first. We learned how to fly from the bugs in the sky. We learned how to see and have TV from the retina in our eye. Technology, literally IT is ET for me, and it's a reflection of this place, and we can't just take and say, see you later, mum, thanks for that, mate, and walk away. That's just fucking rude. Imagine what we're gonna do to the rest of space if we did that. That's not right, and that's kind of stupid, eh? Did anyone watch Star Wars, mate? I'm just saying, learn from these stories and not just be bloodsuckers and say that was great. There's a moral to the story. Maybe we all need to watch more Saddle Club, y'all. When the moral's really obvious and it's cheesy. Shout out Stevie, Rest in peace, Jess Jacobs, though, had a hole in her heart, died at the train station. I remember at the time wishing it was me, because I knew at least her family had matured enough to love and appreciate their sibling, let alone not have sibling rivalry between the different generations, bro, because I've always known my family wasn't going to help me. It's been heavy for whatever reason. Just to go off track, yeah, do you know what that's like, man? Not to have goals or dreams or hopes or aspirations, because there's no point, because they don't actually know how to have the emotional maturity to love you and put you first. I'm just saying. Could have been a young Shirley Temple, but shit happens, mate. It's not about whinging, I'm just stipulating and reiterating what happened in the story. Always knew they weren't gonna help me get a shoe, let alone drive my car or get my license. How bizarre. It's okay for them to look after themselves though first, mate. You know, people that have less is more and more is less. I know a lady willing to sell her house, not that she should have to, just to send her kid to uni, bro. Let alone my family wouldn't even help me get ahead, but I've survived anyway. I'm glad because now I know. Met amazing people along the road. Shout out, rest in peace, Will Bailey. It's fucked up. 27 years veteran affairs took. That's not a healthy response time to get the house to the mother now whose spouse passed away and he was a vet. For fuck's sake, how many vets are left to take their own life? They go to war for us. Not that we should have war anymore, no even score. And then they're left to be depressed on the street. No safe place to be and do some art therapy. Know that the world's a better place and it was worth it, y'all. Obviously, it's illegal too. Just saying, working on it, mate. But I'm working on spreading the word as I spit this word rhyme. Yeah, I said frime. What's that? A framed rhyme. You know, infinitely divisible in any given space is the definition of the atoms and not just family, the universe, man. One song is kind of the definition of the word uni. Yeah, not just the grammar to the spelling, mate, because grammar's another word for school, old school, mate. Old school Converse shoes, and I put them on the exit sign because I found an all-star shoe on the road. Seems appropriate, or it seemed appropriate at the time, no more tearing at the seams for me. Yeah, like a scarecrow was actually to provide a safe space for the bugs to be, and then the birds come along and eat that instead of the maize. That was amazing. Yeah, it's called maize. Look what we did with corn. Well, the Native Americans actually, y'all learned that from the episode of Dr. Quinn, because you know, quack, 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 the female doctor's back, which we all are. You know, sea turtles, hair off our back, survived by the hair and the teeth of our skin, but that shouldn't be how it should be. But hey, shout out Bloody Face. Anyone watch American Horror Story, y'all? You know, when he's sitting there sucking on the boob there, a bit fucked up because he's the product of a murderous bastard. Just saying, we all know what that feels like though, to become the product of our parents. No one wants that. We want to be our own parents. Much like that could be a good thing though, you know. The day I met my dad and realised, hey, I thought I had my own personality, mate, but it turns out, no, I'm just like my parents, but that's okay, I'm my own person too, mate. But I'm glad my face doesn't move in the mirror anymore like I was tripping balls because I didn't even get a photo. But my mum said she didn't know, she lied. She said my ass is the same as my dad's and hers. Paging Dr. Freud, just saying, why are people left to go mad with power? She's a victim too, though. The system, there's a lot of us there, bro, that could do something about it, bro. How is that possible in this day and age? She could just say, I don't know the dad, and they don't even bother to look into it and check her psychology. Make sure she's not going to abuse a child. Isn't that the point? The children have more rights than the adults, just like elderly people do. Rise above and not be bound by nature's code, because atomically the weaker and forces of the weaker forces and the stronger weaker forces rule atomically, and also that's the law of anarchy. The strongest will wins, but we can rise above that and not just be a reflection of nature's laws, man. Think about it, the abuse of the elderly is much like that, you know, crumply old leaf becomes the food for the plant again. The young shoots are the food because they're fresh like lamb. Love, angel music, baby, I'm just saying that was the sacrifice all along. Him with a Y is the song, it's godly. I'm just saying, we pray with an A, not an E. That's insane to me. Why would you prey upon any form of vulnerability? You don't steal candy from a baby, that means you're the baby. It's just sick, I'm just saying. Hey, we may have been bound by some sort of frequency, wow, but we always had individual willpower to rise above, read between the lines of what was going on. Why would my grandmother try and show off to me and say that I've wasted my life? Can't wrap her head around duality, saying to me, basically an attitude that I couldn't keep a man and I should just be thankful to have anyone. It's just fucking rude. Even though currently her partner says, oh, when she goes I'll get a dog, at least they're loyal. Maybe she should work more and they should work more on listening to each other's song and having that respect. I'm just saying, no disrespect to the relationship they have. As I said to the man, you know, if you can't be Little Women, don't be Pride and Prejudice, at least be Jane Eyre and be happy with where you are in the moment there. Don't show me a photo of yourself with the skirt above the knee, with the whip at the teachers' parties, without appreciating the fact you even got to have a job as a woman man. Look to the past and say, hey, at least I didn't get my neck snapped in this lifetime, mate. How many firstborn daughters you think died and didn't even get to live life back in the day? I'm just saying, not to mention when Trump said build a wall, look at China, they built theirs a long time ago, y'all. We've got the rabbit-proof fence here, but hey, it's not about proof. But yeah, shout out being rabbit. I'm just saying, not to mention, literally springs to mind, a guy called Bob nearly shot himself in the foot in this town recently, living the life that everyone's already lived, catching up, no surprise, no child surprise for me though. You know, my cats are my family because I can rely on them to have love, and you don't have to pump it out of your body to love unconditionally. I even have it in writing, but no one believes that, yo. Is that those that are just mad on power, the endorphins they have in their system from giving birth, man? Not to mention, if the baby's still attached to the umbilical cord, do you think the endorphins don't go to the kid, y'all? Not to mention, back in the day, how rough would that be? Have to have the first 3 kids just so you could sell them off to buy food to feed the next 3 kids. Where do you think this pretty shit came from? Because the prettier you were, the more you were worth. The pretty, I think not. That's ridiculous. How judgmental is that? Shouldn't it be wits now anyway? Just saying. And that became a negative thing too, getting the uppers and the downers to turn against each other. I appreciate you, but hey, wouldn't you rather all be on one stage the day we actually made poverty history and all had our legal rights adhered to? No one wants to actually feel short and not know why they can't be fulfilled. I'm just saying. Why else would Billy and Phineas say the things they love just keep them employed now, eh? If deep down they actually want to save the planet, not lose hope and say we've only got 10 years, bro. Not to mention Billy had the car with the blue headlights just after I said it. How bizarre. You know, you don't have to be rich in your bank account to have class, but usually it does reflect upon that. Wow, but it's hard when you don't want to sell out. I'm just saying, I love where I live. I love Gippsland, mate. I'm a country girl. I even cracked a whip 3 times the other day. Shout out Beebs, whip it good, beat it now, just like you would shake a jar back in the day to whip cream, bro. You know, something borrowed, something new, something old and something new, something borrowed, something blue, something old and something new. The day I took a broken umbrella that I literally got handed from the Ishka shop by a lady, and she said it was borrowed there. A plan all along, I just wasn't paying attention, but I was. Yeah, at that party, put it up the front of the dance floor, opened it up and it was full of presents there. Started a mad process where we all just traded and bartered stuff. Wow, wish I had got that $27,000 grant now for a communal barbecue. Pictured it down at the port, yeah.
Yes, I like the rhymes.
All of us are born with the miraculous ability to determine the direction from which sounds approach us.
Let us venture into new and uncharted land.
People that shook up, you know, when I'm introduced as God.
Yeah, got a few minutes left now. I didn't even notice that the hour's nearly up. Wow. Too shook to look. I'm sorry if it's all over the shop, but hey, I think you get the point I'm getting at, mate. We're all sick cunts and we all deserve to be and feel like sick cunts. But deep down we all want to do the right thing by the planet. That's the saddest bit. Wow. Be a community, a communal barbecue, $27,000, you know, that's what it was. And I pictured it down at the port. We could do it everywhere in the world, do the Get Up Challenge and show that we get it. Gippsland, yo, shout out, bro. Just saying, shout out New York March for us, not getting stung by the stingray anymore. Shout out Snoop and Dre, the earthquake that made it all the way through NWA to my back in Gippsland in the wall. right to where it's squished from where my mum kicked me, but that's the point. That's not the point. Imagine down the poor, all the stuff they throw away, y'all. We could just buy, swap and sell with no money, just give it to each other, yeah? And if we were getting overcharged by the real estate, but hey, at least Morrison changed the law, so now we know we can't get kicked out if we've got nowhere else to go anymore, so you can have more stuff, bro. You don't have to throw it away anymore. You know, you don't have to feel guilty and feel like it's ungodly. Stuff is mad, you know, appreciate the fact colour psychology matters. You know, the symbols on your back, on the shirt, on your shoe, they all have relevance, but not if we don't know what to do with it, so the planet can be better. Hey, put the shoe out in the garden, mate, so the spider can live in it, and then the bird can find it when it needs to. Just like today, a praying mantis ate a spider. I felt bad for the spider, but hey, that's nature's way. But no one wants to have to do that to each other. You know, that's just the laws of nature, bro. You see, when the kookaburra smacks the, well, bitch up, but no, the mouse's head on the, you know, fence, bro, it's a swift kill, because they're actually all friends. We could put more food out and scraps so they don't have to do that to each other, man.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
saying.
whirlwind through cities, influential, scientifical power. My mental violence will shower, devour at a crazy rate.
And all the work they did back in the day. Look at the power lines behind them, it looks like a crucifix, mate. Old school boom box carrying the weight of the scene on their back in a way that people seem to forget. Back in the day, it's still the same old power play land, but not anymore. But I'm such a fan of the scene, you know. Haven't had a chance to listen to as many beats and as many flows as I would like. Hey, I've only had the phone and internet for 2 years, bro. We're doing okay anyway. We're doing okay anyway. Doing okay anyway, but it doesn't mean we can't all shine brighter and make this earth a safer place, a better place to live for everybody.
Through cities, influential,
For the buildings too.
power. My mental violence will shower, devour at a crazy rate. Yeah, I whirlwind through cities, influential, scientifical power.